Recently, I've been obsessed with near-death experiences. And if you don't know what a near-death experience is, it's basically somebody, a person that is close to dying, and their body is pronounced dead. And in a way, they come out of their body and they have an experience. Either they meet God, they meet their loved ones. Every human has a very different experience. Not everybody goes through it, but we all have different experiences. And I randomly found out that my grandmother had one of these experiences. And another thing that happens in this it's called an NDE. If you just YouTube it, you'll see loads. If you're somebody that's interested, definitely, check it out. But my grandmother had one of these, which I was like, of course you did. And she had her life review. A lot of people have these, right? And so some people don't like to talk about it, but as you guys know, I love to talk about things that usually people don't want to talk about. So one thing that I've realized with NDEs is that most people go to heaven, right? They meet God, they see their loved ones, and it is this feeling of just love that you can't even describe on this planet. Peace. It's just this feeling of, I don't want to ever go back to planet Earth. I don't want to go back into that body. And so most of the souls that leave their body, and which is what we call death, for them is like a party. They're like, thank you, Lord, finally I'm out of here. But when we're in this human form, we're thinking like, oh my God, I don't want to die. It's the worst thing ever. As somebody who's a very positive person, I like to see the good, and I'm not really into the negativity. I even stopped watching like scary movies and stuff. I feel like that energy kind of lingers on and I don't like it. Somehow saw this this experience, I guess is like a podcast, and he went to hell. And so first when I heard it, I was like, hell? Like, what do you mean hell? Hell doesn't exist in my head. And by the way, before I even get into this, I'm not religious, right? So I believe there's God. I believe in good thoughts, good words, good deeds, which comes from Zoroastrianism. I don't practice Zoroastrianism, but I do what I think we all should be doing, which is just being a good person, not stealing, not gossiping, all these kind of things. And I feel like that is what aligns with me. And anyway, so basically I'm not a religious person. And so I know that in Christianity, and if I'm butchering this or saying something incorrectly, please correct me. I want to know what the right thing is. So they have heaven and hell, right? So I never believed in hell. I never thought that actually existed. And then I found some research where it showed that apparently 10% of the NDEs, near-death experiences, these people actually go to hell. Now, when I heard this, I was like, no way. Like, how could, because all the other heavenly experiences are so beautiful. Everybody would want to go through that experience. But there was 10% that don't have that experience. And so that's where my curiosity began on why do these people go to heaven? And, and again, I understand there are some people that are bad intentions, they have an evil spirit, whatever it is, or they just haven't learned their lesson. But something in me was like, it was just pulling me to watch it, even though I really didn't want to watch it because I don't like kind of all that stuff. But I was like, I have to see the good and the bad. I can't just look at the good and be like, okay, that's it. I have to look at the bad. So I was like, okay, let me just, since I'm in this, I need to be informed. Again, this video is not to scare anybody because that is like not my thing. I'm not here to scare you. But I think it's good to just be informed. It's like you living in China and you don't know that there is a prison in USA. Like, you're just not informed. I don't know, that's a really bad example. But it's just about understanding what this whole life is about. And again, a lot of us have this, I'm going to call it a gift. But I think honestly, all of us have this, is just connecting to it. And I believe I definitely have it. It's just knowing. When you listen to somebody and you just know if it's factual or not. And so when I've heard these experiences, and I've heard of a couple of them, I've heard of certain patterns, and I'm not going to go into exactly really what happens. I mean, I can tell you like a little bit of it, but I don't need to go into it because it's very dark, and I don't want to go in there. My main message, to be honest, for really sharing this is because the couple of experiences where these people have gone to hell, and honestly, it's been men. Majority of the people that I just realized have all been men, which is weird. I'm sure there's women out there as well, but that's just what came up to me. But so the pattern that I noticed with majority of the people that went to hell was that they were not praying to God. They didn't believe in God. And that they were doing things to harm themselves and to harm other people, right? In different ways. It's not just about killing people. These people weren't killers or murderers or child, what do you call it? Like, pedophiles. They were literally none of those type of people. These people were regular people like you and me. And one of the men that I recently saw, he was this Korean guy who was a drug addict, and he had this it's a whole experience that he had, but he didn't do anything that was outrageous. He just was doing drugs, and he was a Buddhist, and so he prayed to Buddha. So it's not like these people were downright evil and horrible. So that's just one thing that I noticed. The second thing that I noticed is that when these people, I mean, their soul comes out of their body, they're about getting ready to die, their soul is taking them downwards instead of upwards. And so when they're going down, it's dark, but not as dark as this world. Like our darkness is not that dark. This dark is a different type of dark. There's a really bad smell, and there's screams, there's all these different things that you hear. And the demons, they're these they're tall, okay? They're huge and they're very strong. And there's other details that I'm not gonna really get into. And also what they mention is that when you're there, I mean, as a soul, I think that's how you are, how it is when you're a soul. But when you look at somebody, it's like a download. You already know why they're there. So most of the people that were there, of course, there was promiscuous women, and there was, pastors that have taken advantage of other people, all these different things. A lot of the people that were there because they gossiped. They were nice in front of somebody's face, and then they, were saying horrible things behind their back. And the reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because we live in this gossipy, judgmental world, right? Like, we are constantly judging people. We're constantly assuming who they are by what they're wearing or what they're saying. And that, I believe, is a test. A lot of us think that, if I'm behind a computer and I type a comment, it's not going to come back to haunt me and affect me. And that is so delusional that I can't fathom it. And if you just right now go on social media and you look at people's, J-Lo or the Kardashians or whoever, and you just look at their comments, it's like, are you guys kidding me? Like, you guys don't have a job? It's like insanity to me that people think that they can say such harsh, mean, rude things about somebody that you have no idea who the hell they are. You've just seen them in a movie or, in a show or whatever it is. And I get it. Let's talk about the Kardashians. They share their life with the world. And I understand that you have a comment section that you can comment on, but it doesn't mean that you have to be nasty and rude and judgmental. God doesn't even judge us when we die. So who the hell are you to judge anybody? It baffles me that people think it's okay to say bad things about somebody. if you're around a friend group or a family group or whoever, or you're watching shows that's constantly talking bad about each other, like I stopped watching Real Housewives because it's very toxic. They're constantly talking bad about each other and bringing each other down. And that stuff, it's in your consciousness. It sticks with you. It doesn't just, they're creating this content for a reason. I have this deep yearning to spread this message that whatever you're putting out there, right? If you're sending out right now 3 comments to people that are mean or nasty or judgmental, I want you to stop it right now. This is coming from not myself, it's coming from God, okay? And instead, I want you to send 3 comments to people that you have no idea who the hell they are, and just leave them a nice, sweet message like, wow, you're beautiful, you're doing great. Send them hearts. Spread the love. Stop spreading hate and judgment and criticism. Because when you're doing that, it's saying a lot about yourself. It's not saying a lot about JLo or the Kardashians. It's saying a lot about you as a person and where the hell you're going to end up. And again, I hate being that person, but I just feel like I need to say this message loud and clear. And I got this message when I was putting my makeup on, because I usually kind of go with the flow with what I'm going to record. I'm like, God, what do you want me to say? What should I say today? What I heard was that God created the Kardashians for a specific reason. And all the people out there that are judgmental, you're talking bad about them, you think that you're better than them, you think like, how dare they? Who the hell do they think they are? All these, things that we think about, internalize, it's all getting recorded. It's going in a folder. And again, I'm just being honest with what I believe, okay? Some people might not agree with this, and that's okay. But all the hate and all this stuff, it's like, it's coming right back to you, sweetie. You're going to go to hell. I don't give a shit if somebody's going to hate me for this video. I don't care. But I have to be honest with you. And I'm not just saying this message to you guys. I'm saying it to everybody, and including myself, because there's a lot of things that I'm doing in my life where I'm like, fuck, am I going to hell? Like, I really think about the actions and the energy that I'm portraying out in the world. And I just want you to rethink your energy, what vibe, what message are you sending to other people, to your friends, to your partner, to your children? I just want you to rethink that a little bit. And doesn't mean that we're all going to go to hell. I'm not saying that, but I'm just trying to say, like, just think about it a little bit. Have a little reflection in your life. I really hope that this message lands on people that really need it, and it's going to help you, and it's not going to scare you, and is doing what my intention is really for you to spread love, and for us to just know that we are one. And I know whatever's happening in the world, it's happening. Nobody can control it. But if all of us unite and we understand that we are one, and we are here ultimately to spread love and joy and hope. And those are the gifts that we have been given by God, because a lot of us think, love and all this stuff, it's like we take it for granted. But when you're in hell, another thing that I learned as well is, like, as soon as you're down there, and I haven't just heard this once, I heard this a couple times. That's why I know it's not a lie. Like, the descriptions that everybody said, it's pretty damn accurate. And when you're down there, as you're getting down there, all the things that God has given you as gifts, like love, peace, hope, it all gets ripped out of you. And when you're down there, all you have is terror and guilt and other things. Okay, so I just want to spread this message, and just want you to rethink your actions and who you're being in this world. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the week, and I'll see you guys in my next video.